And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Lunch with Carole Meekins. And I want to say it is a beautiful day out there. Isn't it wonderful? A lot of kids went back to school today, and everybody is thinking about the fall. And really, it's really fun because I think about school and I think of this is always such a magical time when I was young. I have a wonderful guest here who is making kids smile, and she is doing so by supporting them. This is Rachel Arroyo. Thank you very much for being with us. Rachel is with Cedarburg Threads. And she is also selling some items that some young students have created from the bottom of their hearts. So, Rachel, first of all, thank you for being with me. I know your kids went back to school today.
They did. Yeah, thanks for having me, Carole. Yeah, first day of school in Cedarburg, and you can feel the excitement in the air.
Yeah, they get to go back and actually be in school with human beings, not
Right.
not at a computer. Well, Rachel, it is a delight to be able to have you as a guest on our show. And you know, you're a former teacher, and I think you did something that is very special. And as a former teacher myself, I think it's near and dear to my heart. We always want to make kids happy, and we want to make kids smile. You have decided to take on an emblem that young kids created at Webster Middle School in Cedarburg. Tell me, why did you decide to put that emblem on some apparel that you are selling in your shop?
Yeah, it's been an exciting process. So the way this started was a group of kids at the middle school where I used to teach created this club called the Student Acceptance Team. And it's a student-run club, and they created this club in order to just be a welcoming place for kids of all sorts to be, and to no matter what kind of children and what their point of view was, they could be a part of this club and be welcomed and be accepted. So they decided to create a mural to paint on a wall at the school, at Webster Middle School in Cedarburg. And they worked with their advisor and the administration, and they created this mural. Well, at some point along the line, the administration decided that it wasn't appropriate for the walls of the school. And there's some discussion about whether there was fully permission given and that sort of thing. But in any case, the mural was painted over, and it was devastating to these kids. And as a former teacher, and as a mom, and as someone who knows a lot of these kids personally, I just wanted to do something to help. And it was a very easy decision to jump in and help. I have a store, an online store that is already up and running, and I knew that I could sell t-shirts, and I knew how to do it, and my store was set up for it. And my best friend Lori Ritchie and her daughter Ryan Ritchie were involved in this program. So they're one of Lori and I have been friends for probably 12 or 13 years. So it was an easy decision to help. And as she was telling me about this, and what it meant to the kids and how devastating it was to have their artwork covered, I just knew I had to help in some way. And, so often you can't help directly in situations like this, but here I could. And so we quickly put some of these t-shirts. We took the actual picture off of the wall of the school before it was painted, and we put it on a t-shirt, and we put it on some other items and got it up on the website. We weren't really sure what to expect in terms of response, but the response we did get was amazing. It was so positive, and such a huge influx of orders came in, and people wanted to support these kids and wanted to be a part of the movement. And, people would send me notes and thank me. And honestly, every response I gave was the same. And it was, I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored to be able to help in some small way. And as I see the shirts around town, and I see pictures that people send me, a woman just sent me a gorgeous picture from Washington, D.C. of her wearing her shirt. And another woman sent me a picture from San Diego wearing her shirt. And I thought, coast to coast, this is making an impact. And the message is really, really simple. And it's something that everyone, I think, can get behind. And it's that love is universal. And acceptance and love are really what it's about. So,
and I'm so impressed, Rachel, that you are doing this, and not your children were not your kids were not even involved in this. You just got in because your friend's child was involved, and you thought this would be a nice thing to do.
Right. And actually, I have two friends, and two of their kids are in this program. So, and as someone who is around kids all day, whether there's kids coming in and out of my house, my friends' kids, or my kids' friends, and so on, it's an easy thing for me to want to help any child that's in pain. And I think most people would do the same thing. So, jumping in and doing this was not hard at all.
And you mentioned something, Rachel, that I think I'd like to expound upon. You said you'd like to help kids in pain. For you, this isn't a political statement.
No.
This isn't about, divisiveness. It's about really just making kids feel good and accepted, and honoring the hard work that they put into the mural. So that's all you want to do.
Absolutely. And if we think about our middle school years, we can all think back to our own experiences. They're very difficult years. You're trying to figure out where you fit in, what friend group you fit into, what path you want to be on in your life, and kids that may be struggling with their identity and not sure where they fit in. That's especially hard for them. And then on top of that, you add in COVID stresses. And at that point, I think we're asking too much of children, and the social media pressures that they have every single day. There's something that I know I didn't have growing up. So I feel great empathy for kids, teenagers especially these days. And so, these kids having this sort of treatment of their artwork, and it's on screen now. There it is.
Yay! Good job.
Yeah.
I think James did that. That's wonderful.
Think it's lovely. It's awesome. So we took that actual picture and put it on the t-shirts, so that these t-shirts that you buy and wear, that artwork can live on forever on these t-shirts and on these bags and on these phone cases and all the other things we have available. So to me, that's just an amazing way to honor these kids and to show them that maybe this didn't work out with the school district for whatever reason, but there's a lot of support for what they're doing and their movement and their message. And the message is simple love and inclusivity, that, these kids belong.
For all groups. And it's not just LGBTQ, it's Black, white, Asian,
Yep.
or whatever you might be.
Around the world. Right.
It's just loving your mankind, basically.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I think in our world, all you have to do is go on Facebook for a few minutes and you can find negativity somewhere, anywhere. I'm on this candle makers group because for my business, I'm starting to make candles. And even on a candle makers group, there can be negativity towards one another. And
it's amazing.
It's astonishing how much negativity there is out there. So if I can, for a few minutes, help spread some positivity, which is what I preach to my kids all the time, then I think that I'm doing okay. And I'm happy to be a part of it.
Bless you for doing that, Rachel. And also, I have to say that the money that is being made from this, the students, they don't want to take this money and go buy things for themselves.
Right.
They want to take this money to try to raise awareness and to create other groups to help teach other kids and people. And I think that's so wonderful.
Absolutely. The kids have talked about possibly creating a nonprofit so that they can manage this money appropriately. And they're talking about doing some leadership training for their group, bringing the high school group along, which is wonderful because this is the middle school group that's involved in this process. And then they're talking about, doing some community events, some school events just to raise awareness. And then they're talking about other ways that they can donate some money to help other groups out there of kids that may be struggling with some of the same things. And I know that the group has heard from other school districts all over the place, wanting to know more, wanting to know how they can do something similar, or how they can get the mural on their wall. Businesses have contacted me asking if they can have the mural on their wall. So the movement is sort of catching. The fire is catching, and I love it. I think it's a really great thing to see that people wanted to get involved and people wanted to help in whatever way they could, whether they bought a t-shirt, whether they bought a yard sign, whether they posted something positive online. There's lots of ways people can get involved, and they have been. So it's been quite a thing to witness.
It really is. And for people who might just be joining us for Lunch with Carole Meekins, this is Rachel Arroyo. She is from Cedarburg Threads, and her online store is selling the Love is Universal apparel. So basically that young kids have created, it's a beautiful emblem to promote just kindness and diversity and love and acceptance. So thank you so much for, Rachel, for being able to have the platform, give these kids a platform. I imagine they're quite happy that you were able to do this.
They are. It's been a little overwhelming, and they're thrilled. They're thrilled to see all the support. And, if people wanted to go online and support them, that's awesome. or if they just want to send a positive message too, that's awesome. And just spread that love. And they love being a part of that. So.
Well, I think it's wonderful what you've done. And you know what, I have to tell all of you who are listening that Rachel had planned to actually close up a little bit and not, keep this thing going, but it has been so successful. And you've gotten a response from people all over the country, even the world. I think you said there was somebody from, where was it? Was it England?
There was a woman from England that contacted me and wanted a print. And there was also a school in Vietnam that contacted the group and wanted to do a similar mural on a wall in their school. So definitely getting international exposure, which is astonishing and wonderful. I guess that's the positive power of the internet. We see so much of the negative power of the internet, but I think there's a lot more people out there that want to see positive things online and talk about positive things online and not get so bogged down in all of the negativity and vitriol that is out there. So I'm happy to be a part of that, and I hope that people can, spread that message as well.
Well, thank you for spreading that message. Rachel Arroyo from Cedarburg Threads, and she is selling apparel that says love is universal. And this has really caught fire. And we thank all of you for joining us, because this is a message that we really want to send to everybody. It's all about the greater good. It's all about being kind. And it's all about thinking outside of ourselves. And I think, Rachel, you're such a good example. And these kids are getting a real life lesson plan.
They sure are. They sure are. Better than the
how wonderful. As a great teacher. Well, thank you so much. And also, I want to point out to everybody who's joining us that Rachel will be featured on Positively Milwaukee, her and another mom, just about this effort and how why they're doing this and why this is important to the kids. So we appreciate you for joining us and being with us on Positively Milwaukee and Lunch with Carole Meekins.
Thank you
Rachel
very much
Arroyo.
for having me.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You too.